All right. We're back with another episode, but first, the sponsors. Head over to www.johnbartoloshow.com and go check out a complete list of sponsors available there. I want to thank a few of them now. Gallo Technologies, Rhino Metals, Enforce Weapon Lights, Pulsar Thermal Imaging Technology. Go check out Pulsar, Blackwater Ammunition, Full Quartz and Firearms, Galco Leather Holsters. And let's give a shout out today to BLK Water.
Boom.
Howlerhead.
Sipping it.
And Kenzie's Optics. Go check them all out. Appreciate those guys. Got a special guests today. I'm excited about this. Let's start with first, the one and only. I'll let him introduce himself because he's so good at it.
Boom! It's Tactical Karl. For all y'all guys out there wondering, the #1 firearms instructor. Got my own rifle. Yeah, don't laugh at it.
Don't hate.
It's the real deal, motherfucking holy feel. When I come in an arena, you will feel the big dick energy
I love
flowing
it.
He
off
likes
of
to
me.
put it on the table.
I like to put it on the table right away.
Pull that mic closer. Let everybody hear the you're spitting fire right now.
Well, only fire comes out of the soul, because what comes out of me, it comes from the fucking heart. So when you hear this is just pure. I mean, it's pure from the soul. And I appreciate you having me out here, brother.
Oh.
It is hot as hell
It's
out
hot.
here. It's like fucking a rolling fireball hitting you
It's
right in
hot.
the fucking face. But
I actually love it, but I think it's because I'm hot like that.
Fire.
Oh yeah, when I touch you and I put my tongue on you, girl, it just burns. And not like that. It burns in a good way.
So listen. Let's reel it in. Talk to me now. What in the world possessed you to get into this business? And what the hell were you thinking?
So literally I started out with training police officers, teaching them how to properly pass their qualification. Guys was going through, they kept failing. So I'm like, well, let me start helping y'all out. Started a couple of guys at a time. And from there, the Instagram, people liked the energy, the flow, the stress that I was putting them under. One of my buddies, he got killed in a gunfight. We trained together. I didn't train as hard as I train nowadays. Got killed in a gunfight. It was probably 3 guys, he was working armored car. 3 individuals, one had an AR-15, the other 2 had pistols. They shot him about 9 times. Took 9 times to the vest. Freaking all 4 magazines, 20-round magazines, slide locked. When they actually got him, he bled out. His fucking driver drove off, so he's in the middle of the thing with money bags. His cover that he actually had left him. So as soon as his cover left him, he's in the middle of the thing fighting it out with, first was the 2 guys, then the guy got out of the vehicle with a AR-15 at that moment. He started engaging him. He shot 2 of the bastards, and he ended up bleeding out and dying right there.
That's a crazy story.
So from there, I'm like, I need to amp this shit up so this never happens again. So my mindset is we need to fucking win. And just taking like the military training that I went through, combat engineer, Army combat engineer, all that good shit for 6 years, the law enforcement, SWAT, all of these different things that I have seen, like what works, and being inside of real world situations, inside of firefights, of knowing that like this is what you need. Let's skip all this pretty boy shit and let's do what the fucking body needs to do. When that adrenaline's pumping, shit's hitting the fan. I don't give a fuck how badass of a motherfucker that you think you are. When the shit is really hitting the fan, like your #1 thing is, holy shit, this is really happening. Your balls do this, your asshole puckers up, and it's like, fuck. So I try to induce that in training as much as I possibly can.
And people love it. They come there and they say, I want all the smoke, Tactical Karl. And they come there and they look exactly like whatever Tactical Karl had on in his videos.
The costume.
From the head
Full
down
blown.
to socks, everything. Underwear, if they knew which brand he wore.
221B underwear I'm always rocking.
Now, I love what you're doing, and you look like you're genuinely having fun doing it, and that's important.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems very enjoyable, and I think making it fun is half the battle, right?
Oh yeah. And when I work, I don't work. It's like I'm
a good way
going
to
out
put
to
it.
the range and I'm putting in this work, and I get a sense of I get a sense of enjoyment out of it, knowing that if the shit hits the fan, that they're gonna win. Like between 2020 to 2021, when I started keeping numbers, I've probably trained 800, maybe close to 1,000 people, and that's not even online training. That's shit 20, 30,000, 40,000 people maybe online included. So 6 of them have been involved in actual gunfights.
Wow.
To where they have won. This is including 2 police officers.
And they call at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Tactical Karl.
Oh, my wife will attest to it. One of my buddies got into a gunfight and the shit really hit the fan, and she cooked him some chicken afterwards. Yeah, I said she cooked him some fucking chicken, showed us the video, and I was like, "Oh, honey, I want to watch this part." Oh, goddamn! Whoa! And that,
I'm sure I didn't say that.
no, that was me. I was excited because individual had the drop on him, and he did exactly what he needed to do to fucking ventilate that guy.
You're an instructor that makes money on the students, and that's how instructors make their living. Were you upset when Dakota Meyer came out with that statement, you know, kind of being like, what's everybody doing? Or did you know who he was talking to in that video?
You talking about the ones he said everybody looks like they're LARPs?
Yeah.
I think that's a complete fucking bullshit, because you need to train like you fight like you train. Who are you to say that somebody don't need to have on that kit? Because when the shit hits the fan, you need to train in the same shit that you're gonna fight in, because a lot of guys have all this fancy ass gear and they don't know exactly what to do with it. I call it a fucking yard sale, when you got all this plate carriers and magazines and stuff like that.
With no dirt on it.
With no dirt on it, and you go to switch your mag, and the whole fucking thing comes apart,
and it falls on the ground.
It falls on the ground, and I'm throwing your shit everywhere. Black Rambo knows about that.
Oh my gosh!
Anyway,
TV companies also know about that.
Ooh, we ain't gonna say that.
That was some.
We'll get to Black Rambo.
Yeah,
we'll get to that.
But you need to have.
But what do you think was going through his head when he made that? Like, what was he? You're a veteran. What? He
probably didn't make that statement to everybody. He looks at the airsoft guys. Nothing wrong with those guys.
Mill Sims guys.
Yeah, all of that. And he's like, well, they out here and they're just trying to look cool. They just doing it for the gram. Because there's a lot of people who just do
100%.
Who just do the shit for the gram. But then you have other actual genuine people that is ready to rock and roll, and they need to have their shit on. Like, it's a difference from me running slick and getting on the range, for me going full battle rattle, fucking helmet on, MVGs, all my shit. Like, you see how your body responds to it, and you need to know exactly how that's gonna happen. If I'm laying in prone position with my fucking hard head helmet on versus me just fucking ball cap, it's a different ball game. So I think he's completely fucking wrong about it. I don't know the guy. I didn't know the guy until somebody sent me the shit, and I was like, fuck's wrong with this guy?
Yeah, I think we know. I think we know who he's speaking to specifically. Like, we think it was a misguided kind of thing. And the thing I've tried to explain, you get a lot of people. It's not just Dakota. There's a lot of people across the industry that get that elitist attitude, right? Like, you got to be somebody. And here's my thing. Like, is the money green? You know what I'm saying? They want to take a class. They want to train, like you're saying. They have a legitimate desire to train. Then let them spend their fucking money and train.
Yep. Brother, I'll tell you just like this. You talk about is the money green to me. Like, before all this, I go to work. I have a fucking full-time job that I make pretty decent money at. And I would literally be training motherfuckers for free. Because in my heart or soul, just like I told you, my buddy who got murked, like, if I know that what I taught you today made you a better person and you was able to fight and win a altercation, then that's more than any fucking money you can put on the table.
Right.
It's more than any money, any gun that you could ever put on the table for me. That makes my dick hard right there. Knowing that you survived, that gets me going in the morning.
No, I think you have to have that in your heart if you're going to be a true instructor. That's why I don't instruct. You know what I mean?
It's the money green.
It's I don't see. For me, I think this industry is a little misguided, and when stuff like that comes out, it makes me sad. You know, it's not something that I'm happy about, because I think of you guys. I think of everybody out there instructing and training, and that's how they make their living, and that's how they put food on their table, and they love it. That passion you just talked with right there, they love it, and I believe you. And I know that you love it. And I know guys that's truly what they enjoy. They're not doing it for the couple $100 they make, putting someone on grass. But then guys come along and we know who they're talking to, and we get all that. And that stuff does come up. Who's legit, who isn't, whatever. But that shouldn't be a public statement, right? Like, I think that's something that's like, hey man, like that dude, he fuck him. He ain't done, 50 operations or something. I get that. Like, okay, I get that. But at the end of the day, do we care about the guy who just wants to better himself and just put some rounds on paper?
Exactly. And see, in this industry, it's a really little bitchy industry with a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys, they're fucking stuck up, and they don't want to show the knowledge. And if you not some Green Beret, Navy SEAL, and all of this crazy ass shit, then you're nobody. I'm preparing you for the fucking gunfight that's gonna occur at the gas station at fucking 10 p.m. because you got to fill up the wife's car because she's like, honey, I got to go to work in the morning. And that asshole rolls up on you with his pistol out. He already got the jump on you, and you need to have that 2-second draw and put rounds on target. I'm not teaching you to go to Afghanistan.
I like the point about the putting the gas in the car.
I'm not teaching you to go
that
to
again for the people in the back.
The gas in the car.
So I'm not teaching you to go to Afghanistan. Okay, so you did this. That's another thing like in the military. Oh, one pump chump, you deployed once. Oh, you only deployed 2. Oh, how many bodies you get? It doesn't have to be a big dick competition. Like, if you're doing what you're doing and you survive that encounter, then what the fuck? Just like the dude talking about people locking, if some crackhead motherfucker get the jump on him and hit him in the back of the head with a goddamn baseball bat, then what? Like, I train with some badass motherfuckers, and when they tell you, it's just like, dude, keep doing what you're doing, because this is what it is. Green Beret, Special Forces, all these individuals, they like, keep this shit up, because this is what you need.
Saying. And you know how all y'all with all the big muscles and the big guns, like, it's always gonna be a big dick contest. And in some form or fashion, I feel like when people come out with videos and they say things that, put other people down in some way,
throwing shade,
it's designed to set them up above in some way. Like, I know better than you.
Right. No, you're 100% right. And that's what I'm getting at. I ask so I have a lot of opinions, and I think that there are a lot of guys that just haven't been hugged enough as children.
And see, Carlton don't have that problem. So I get the hug.
So they need the love. You know what I'm saying? They need the love. They constantly need the love. And this industry, the guys who are long for this industry have the mindset like you have. I want to get out there. I want to teach people. Okay. You don't create barriers of entry. You don't say, I'm only going to teach this type of person, right? That type of person. You want to teach everybody. And that's smart, right? You want to teach everybody. And there's this other faction around the tactical side of the industry. Okay. That's where I'm going with this. The tactical side of the industry has that elitist mentality. And that's very cancerous when that starts to infect people, that anything you could do, I could do better.
Right.
Anything you can do, I'll do better. And that we see proliferate itself across the board. So we have this fascination with this person had this quote unquote higher level of training, when we all know that you could train your ass off personally. You could be a black belt. You could take a gazillion gun courses. And I look at people like, whether it's guys like Taron Butler or Hoist Gracie that train to be more capable and obviously are insanely capable. I don't know much, but I don't want to meet them in a gunfight.
Right, absolutely.
I don't want to be in a shootout with them. So I don't, to the, the dick measuring contest analogy, people need to respect everybody's lane, right? And where everybody falls. Like, if you a badass black belt, my hat's off to you, respect. You're going to be really good at combatives no matter what. Facts. You're going to be a tough out no matter what. You a legitimate 3-gun shooter that shoots your ass off, that's a top tier guy, you're going to be a tough out. And I just think, I wish people would take down that barrier. Are there people out there in the industry that are quote unquote LARPers that we see out there with the milsim stuff, everything else, that we all kind of look at, we shake our head. And the reason for that is they're putting stuff out there, as Carl knows, and guys like Tony Semina and everybody that trains, they're putting stuff out there they really don't know what they're talking about because they've never been in that scenario. And I get that. And I know you do too. We get that. But at the same time, is it worth policing?
And see, we don't know how his day was, because when I first got into the social media outlet, and these fucking trolls come on your page and they start talking this bullshit, and you was like, if you really saw me in real life, I might slap the fucking shit out of you. Not saying don't do that, because that's illegal. Violence. We don't condone violence, but thinking in your head you might get the shit slapped out of you. You wouldn't say it. The point is, you wouldn't say it in real life. So sometimes it gets under your skin so freaking bad to where it's just like, you know what? Screw all these larking assholes. Maybe that could have been his day, because I used to have days like that to where they would make my head hurt. Like, you've never been in
100%.
You've never been in a violent altercation. How are you going to tell me that what I'm doing and showing right here is happening? You watch YouTube videos.
You used to do that. What does it do now?
I'll just block your ass.
Yeah.
You say some out of line shit.
Welcome to the block.
Of course.
I call it the block party, and we go from there. Like, and I feel great about it.
You know, for me, having been where I've been and trained where I've been, there's stuff I would see that would make me mad. And I've trained all over the world with some of the best on the planet that there is, in a lot of different combatives, or whether it was lifting weights, whether it was jiu-jitsu, whatever it was, fighting, shooting. And I see shit that drives me nuts. So I get the desire to feel a certain way towards something, but the game is elevating. See, like, while that's been going on, while that mentality still exists, the game's elevating. Now, I'm sorry, you could be an Instagram superstar. If you ain't streaming, or you ain't in other areas, shows, podcasts, whatever, you ain't shit.
Facts.
It don't matter. You ain't shit. Because straight up, you got to have your hand in more pots. It's just not enough. It's not enough. So, you know, to everybody out there that, you know, wants to be this badass IG player, whatever it is you're posting, whether it's tactics, whether it's shoot fast guys, whatever, it ain't enough.
And see, like me, I'm literally coming out here with you today. I stay in my lane. I stay at my training in Houston, and I need to start getting out a hell of a lot more, due to the simple fact of start doing things like this. Because I'm like, keep my head down, fucking train my people, and drive on, and don't even care about the stuff. The only reason I post the tactics and started the Instagram, the YouTube, the Facebook, is so that I can teach more people and give them that knowledge. It wasn't like, oh, I need to get my hands in the TV shows, the podcasts, and this, that, and the third. I'm like, I need to make sure your ass don't die. That's the only thing I give a fuck about. Like, I make my little coins here just so I can put money back and invest. Hell, I've trained, I can't tell you how many law enforcement officers for free, how many grandmothers for free. The levels of the shit
you trained me for free.
Yeah,
that was fun.
I did, and afterwards we got it on.
Yeah, we were friends ever since.
Friends ever since. So now, the last 18 months, something exciting's happened, and I don't even think you foresaw it. Maybe when we first met at SHOT Show 2 years ago, I don't think you both would have foreseen this. The black community's coming in strong.
Oh yeah, coming in hot. Boom.
It has to surprise you how hot.
Yeah, and this is why, because in the black community, people don't understand that the Second Amendment and all that stuff, it doesn't matter what race you are. You need to be ready to defend yourself. And see, the thing is, like, even religion, Christianity, and all this shit, they try to tell you, oh, you don't need firearms, you don't need this, the white Jesus is going to save you. Fuck that. Fuck that.
You know what's crazy is I had Antonia Okafor in here, right? And we were talking, we were rapping, and it was Rhonda. It was one of them that brought it up, and she said the black community has a hard time coming around to things and standing on its own, like saying, like, we believe in this. Like, she brought up the example of, like, lesbians in the black community, which I had never thought of. And she said, that's, like, impossible. Like, you don't talk about that in the black community. Like, if you were a lesbian, you don't talk about that shit.
Right.
And kind of like the Second Amendment, I feel like there's always been, like, this struggle to get the black community behind the Second Amendment, the way that they should be, the way that they had maybe when it was the Black Panthers that were pushing it. And I love seeing it come in. And I didn't realize that there was those barriers in the community. And I hadn't thought of it that way, you know, to vocalize what they feel strongly about and put out there. I just had never thought of that. It was very eye-opening. Do you think that had something to do with it? Like, for a long time, you never heard somebody be a proud black gun owner.
Well, it was also illegal for a long portion of history. Like, the only way that a black family would get a gun was if they had a father or a brother in the military and they kept it. Because otherwise, you couldn't go in the stores and just buy one. They didn't even allow people of color to come in the stores. So it was one of those things seen as, if you get caught with a gun, then you're going to go to jail. Then you're going to have all these repercussions. So that created this taboo in that, you know, even though it did become legal, it was still something that we don't do. There's a fear associated with it.
Sure.
So, I mean, it's like if you were to see a spider or something that, you know, it's an animal that might be dangerous to you, or an insect, there's a fear, even if you've never been bit by a spider.
100%, yeah.
And it came down to that culture in the black community, and still is in some parts. It's like you don't do it.
Absolutely, because like when I teach my license to carry classes, like the things that people don't understand, they put that and they put it a fear. And then in the hood,
I feel like in those classes, you almost have to be like, it's okay to be a black legal gun owner.
Yeah, because
like you almost have to say it. Like, it's okay to be a lesbian and be a black woman. Like, you know, like you almost have.
These were things that people got lynched for. I mean, you got put on a tree and you were displayed in front of everyone. Like, that's where the picnic word comes from. They would pick a nigga and they would put him on a tree, and people of like all races would see this, and it was something they left out. They didn't just say, oh, okay, now you did it, we'll take you down. They would leave people up. So that created that sense of like, this is life or death. If you have a gun, or if you do something quote unquote wrong, you are putting your life in jeopardy. And the family, you know, they wanted to take care of you, so they would tell you not to do those things.
So powerful. I never thought of that. The picnic.
Yeah.
This just blew my mind.
Yeah. But guess what? We don't like to talk about that. And especially white people, they don't like to bring up what happened back in slavery. It's like fucking scary. This really kind of pisses me off a little bit, that like hit a button on me for a second. So you go, oh my God, slavery was so long ago, you need to get over it. Motherfucker. If you look at like with the Jews, the Holocaust and all that, you don't go, oh my God, that was so long ago, I need to get over it, because you don't want to seem like a bad guy, but you're not. It's not that. It happened, and this is the reason why we need to be able to bear arms. Not saying that will ever happen again, but fuck, look at the Pakistan and all of that. They're running around in New York beating the shit out of people, and you don't think that would happen?
It's getting scary though.
It's getting scary. So at the drop of the hat, we don't know when shit might just hit the fucking fan again. So it's not even that. You need to have those arms ready to defend yourself, because law enforcement, it take too long.
Or they defunded.
So it's like, what the hell? You need to be ready to rock and roll at a moment's notice.
Do you feel that being in the profession you're in and doing what you do you feel even more of an obligation to educate people on what the reality of the situation is, however it is?
Oh, hell yes. Yeah, the fact is, when I first started in law enforcement, I was riding around like a damn riding typewriter. I remember the first 3 months on training, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing out here?
Right.
I thought I was going to be kicking doors, chasing bad guys,
writing tickets.
Right? Nah, fuck. I ain't never joined this profession to write tickets. I can count on probably out of 8 years being a police, I probably wrote maybe less than 100 tickets. Now, how many people I put in jail? Yeah, close to 400 or 500 probably. But I got into this profession to help people to stop violence, because the only person that can stop a violent individual is another individual that's trained in more violence than they are.
See, he even says it violently. He trained with the hand up.
So
man.
That's just the point of it. And people don't understand. And I because I work in the worst part in Texas. We're actually in Texas. We're leading #1 in homicides. So on a nightly basis, I see 4 or 5 people getting killed.
Right.
I'm running operations with women who've been abducted, who've human trafficking. We're knocking down these bad guys, and we see the revolving door. I don't know, the Democratic freaking Party, when you vote for these Democrats, what happens is these assholes believe in the slap on the wrist. You can murk 3 or 4 people and be out on a PR bond for $100. So you're getting out on $100, so the crime is only going to enhance. So what's happening right now is the crime is going up. We can't stop it. The bad guys are getting back out of jail. So you need to have that firearm. You need to have that weapon system on your body, so when the shit pops off, you're ready to go. That's why in Texas, Greg Abbott, the man's just a goat. He said, fuck it. Everybody can carry a gun. You don't need a license. Constitution to carry. Somebody fucks with you, you take them out.
Although that does give a lot of people the impression that they don't need to know anything about it and they can just carry a gun. We're saying you still need the knowledge. You need to know the law. You need to be familiar with how to use that weapon system. I mean, it's like driving a car. If they said, okay, everybody at the age of 18, you can drive a car, like you don't have to do driver's ed or anything like that. You can just come get a license.
Right.
And you still want to be familiar. Like when you get behind the wheel the first time, you're not, merging into traffic and making maneuvers safely.
No, I think
sometimes going to speed limit.
Yeah, I think a class. I think people should want to take a class once a year at least. At least, like, come on,
more than once. Like if you look at how much training this law enforcement had for that violent occasion, like the first time I was ever involved in freaking shooting, like 18 years old, doing private security,
right,
armed with my firearm, my 12 gauge shotgun, and shit hit the fan and rounds started taking off. And this is I don't even remember. I was probably older than 18. Thinking I had all this training, I had my shit together, hours and hours on the range. When the shit hit the fan, my testicles did this and my penis shriveled. I thought my dick had got shot off. I looked in my pants to check. Like you don't want to be, when shit's hitting the fan, you don't want to be that guy with a 6-hour class that some old guy that taught you and you think you know what the hell you're doing.
Right.
But we get a lot of that.
No, of course. And look, I say it all the time. You have to seek out the best training. It's not easy to do. To everybody listening, I always tell them, yeah, you can start with the local range guy, you know what I mean? But if you want to understand tactical training, stress, heart rate, trigger pull, all those things, you need to find somebody that actually has some real life trigger time that can simulate that for you.
So,
what I just realized?
What?
Y'all didn't introduce me.
Go ahead.
I am Mrs. Tactical Karl, certified range safety officer and master yoga instructor. I teach yoga teachers and I take care of the business side of the Tactical Karl brand. We
got in such a frenzy with Karl that we bypassed you.
I know, it's okay.
Oh, my wife ain't gonna let that shit happen.
I know.
She's like, hold on.
I love that.
You better respect this shit, motherfucker.
You came in hot. You were spitting flames from the start. I was like, whoa, just let him go, You blew me away. But you're absolutely right. I think finding the best training and almost pushing the training on people, they need it.
So it's a saying in the industry, and we always hear this: vet your instructor, vet your instructor, vet your instructor. We kind of talked about this earlier.
Right.
I don't know, maybe because I've just been doing this just for a little while now, but there's some guys in the industry, you go vet your instructor, but they really don't even want to do the shit. When they hop out there, it's just like, fuck. So you do the class, it's just repetition of, this is what I need to do, this is what I do, okay, that's cool, let me take all your money. Right now, especially in the freaking black community, we got a dude to take a class 2-3 weeks. Next thing you know, he's USCCA fucking firearms instructor. You don't know fucking shit. You don't know shit. Or you have that woman. You don't know shit. How the fuck are you teaching somebody some tactics? You just took my class brand new. You couldn't even grip the goddamn gun right. And you're out here trying to tell somebody what to do. No, motherfucker. Go back to the drawing board. I have hundreds of thousands of fucking hours of training. I get paid to go shoot guns through what I do. The military has equipped me with these skills. You can't hop out here teaching the Grandpa Joey shit, thinking that you are an instructor. You're not an instructor. You're still a fucking student. Sit down with the bullshit.
And how many hundreds of thousands of dollars into you training?
A lot.
Now, wait, back up. How do we sniff them out, though?
And see, that be the hard part. Like,
I think you got to ask them, like, what's your curriculum? Like, you start asking a little specific questions. Tell me about your curriculum. How do you teach? And if in my opinion, Carl, I could be dead wrong. I'm not an instructor, but I always say this. Look for like a legit curriculum. Like the guy should know, like I teach stress under fire, blah, blah, blah. They should rattle a few things off. We incorporate this drill, and this is why. They should know their shit, and they should be like, we teach a level 1 and we teach a level 2 and we teach a level 3. If they have at least their ducks in a row there, they know enough. If you're an educated consumer, you can ask them, hey, where'd you get your training? Oh, I graduated the academy. To everybody listening, graduating the academy from a shooting perspective doesn't mean shit.
No.
You have to have a little bit more. Be like, hey, I went up to SIG and I took, master instructor class, or I went to Glock, took a master
SWAT training.
SWAT training is pretty legit. I mean, I know a lot of SWAT guys, and they don't want their civilian students clearing houses and shit. So they don't want that.
And see that.
That's where you got to draw the line.
No.
A little.
It depends.
There should be no line drawn if we talk about the Second Amendment.
Day one?
No,
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying tactics. Tactics are something different.
I mean, it depends on what class they come for. Some people want to train.
I teach a home invasion class.
That's different. I'm saying day one, like if the guy's out there teaching tactics and movement through your house, yeah, you better vet him, and he better have 20 years of SWAT. He better have this. He better have that. If you're going to teach that class, it's like anything else. If you're going to teach a hunting class, how many hunts have you been on? Facts. What have you hunted? Facts. You know what I mean? So the point I'm making is there are ways to sniff it out. Yeah. You can ask a couple of the right questions. Now, I'm saying an uneducated consumer that don't know nothing, that's like your Aunt fucking Stacy or some shit, she's not going to know, like, oh, they trained at SIG, or, they trained under this guy or that guy. Like, if I come in, like, in the lineage of martial arts, if I come in and I say, I got my belts from Casey Halstead, 10th Planet, Las Vegas. People are going to be like, okay, right away, like you kind of, who that is. You've heard of 10th Planet. That's jiu-jitsu. You can put the lineage together. If I say, I took 3 of Tactical Karl's classes, out in thing, what did you study? Hey, we did this, and this. If they can't rattle it all off, that's a red flag. Yeah. It's like anything else. When I say to someone says, hey, I'm a Navy SEAL. Oh, what BUD/S class did you graduate? I know a couple guys. And they can't even rattle that off. Something fishy from the jump.
Absolutely. And then you have a lot of guys like me that just takes shit tons of class because I want to be the sharpest fucking spear. So when that dark day comes, I'm able to take on whatever there is to come. Like,
that also is important for me because I wasn't sure about dating someone who's in law enforcement and doing all that. And a lot of women, they will either be really excited about a uniform or they'll be a little standoffish. And I saw that he was always going to training. He was working on getting, master level certifications, qualifications. And that's sexy to me.
Yeah.
So I was about that life.
If you're gonna do it,
he's gonna come home.
If you're gonna do it, be the chief, right?
If you're gonna
do it, be the chief.
But like you said, like all of it, just because they say, "Oh, I'm the police," or "I did this," or the biggest thing, I was in the military. Holy
goodness. So many veterans.
Fort Hood. I was on the M4 range so many times. And all these guys, even guys with fucking deployments, like 3-4 combat deployments, didn't know how to safely handle their firearm when you put them in certain situations. It was like, you're going to fucking shoot yourself, bro.
Oh, of course.
Like, it's kind of scary.
Yes, it is kind of scary.
To me, the way I rationalize is, I tell people this all the time. You can have formal training. And by formal training, I mean you graduate an academy, you graduated boot camp, whatever. Somebody walks on your range, they say, hey, I graduated police academy, this class, blah, blah, blah. I graduated, Marine Corps, infantry school, whatever. And you'd be like, okay, all right.
Put the targets up.
Right. What else? And they might say, the next level up from that might be like, but I took 2 classes with Dom Rosso. I took a class with Tony Sentmanat. I train. Then you start to say, okay, this person trains regularly. I'm a blue belt at wherever.
Absolutely.
And then so it's all levels, right? It's all levels. We
Levels
talk about
of shit.
levels.
Just
You know
like
what I
yoga,
mean?
You can't take a yoga class one time and think that you're a Zen master.
100%. 100%. Like when I walk on the range, they're like, oh, I teach a combatives class. And then, right away they'll kind of go around the horn. They'll see who has what for training. Oh, I'm a paramedic. Oh, I'm a purple belt. Oh, I'm this. I'm that. That's when you start to piece together.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. My boy, my top ace boom coon I look to for all the information. Fucking Blue Scorpion. He came on the range, we're shooting. He was like, yeah, I was in the Army 25 years. That's all he said. We got on the range, we started chunking fucking lead, and next thing I know, I looked at his target, and we was moving to contact. He fucking jumped behind my Jeep, laying down fire, fucking move, mag dumping and shit. And I said, whoa, dude, what the fuck did you do in the Army? He was like, yeah, I was a Green Beret. I said, I can fucking tell just by that. And some of those guys, they won't say shit. And it's just be like, whoa.
Is he a Glock instructor?
Yeah, he is. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck was that we just did? Because before I knew it, I'm on second mag, move. And we just went to a whole nother world. And every student out there was like, what just happened? Some people don't talk that shit. They just show
there's just levels. There's just levels. Straight up, there's levels. And to everybody listening, you got to understand, can you go and take a 2-week combatives class like anyone takes at the academy or anything else? Of course you can. Is that going to mean you have a black belt?
No.
In anything? No.
Just like you do jiu-jitsu.
You're not an expert at that point.
I've taken a few classes. I've never received a belt. I did Krav Maga, taken a few classes. I did kickboxing. I took a few classes. I am no master expert at shooting. I'm just a guy who like to shoot guns, and just in case a motherfucker roll up, I need to do what I need to do. Like I am no god or saint, and I don't put myself on that pedestal. But just understand, if we get in a fight, you're gonna know my fucking name when we finish, because I might bite your fucking balls off if it gets to that situation. I will take your eyesight. You'll never see again.
I just wish the industry would accept that answer, because that's a perfect answer. I just wish that, you know what I'm saying? Like the everybody would stop trying to lay wood on the table and just accept that answer, because that's
Right.
the perfect answer. Yeah, exactly. Because he just gave the perfect answer. I want to train.
That's it.
Let me train.
That's it. Let me do my thing. I'm going to get out here. I'm going to do my thing. But then they look at you. They go, oh, Tactical Karl. He's this. He's that. No. I'm just a regular motherfucker. Just like you. If you roll up on me at Walmart parking lot as I'm putting my groceries in my car and you mean to do harm and violence to me, it's gonna go down. Like, you might get the drop on me. I can't, like, I have people at the fucking red light that be like, oh shit, they go Tactical Karl.
Right.
Boom, pointing their finger guns, and I'm about to draw and lay some fucking love on your ass. It's like, dude, I'm a regular human being.
Right.
And anybody in the industry, you can die just like anybody else.
100%.
So when you get into some shit, and I'm a shit magnet. When you get into some shit,
we're not speaking that into existence.
I'm
Take
not a
that
shit
back.
magnet.
Take that
Sometimes-
fucking back.
sometimes shit just comes my way. When I get into something, you will know my name afterwards. Like, it's happening. We're normal human beings, and these gun guru guys and these UFC fight. Ted Kennedy, prime example, when they broke in his house in Texas. God, you don't know who you're dealing with, so you're gonna put these fucking skills to the test. So don't just think you're just badass guru and you won't get tested, because somebody might just come along and push your shit back. So
That's
you need to
why I
keep
like
that
when
spear
you
sword.
do home, like, what do you call it? A consultation?
Yep,
Where you
home
go
invasion
in-
consultations, teaching people how to do it. So don't just think you're just this elite motherfucker, because just in Houston, Texas alone, we just had a deputy sheriff. They invaded his house, shot his wife 3 times in the leg with an AR-15, shot his 4-year-old daughter in the arm with a shotgun.
Jesus.
One Hispanic dude, illegal anyways, but that's a whole nother subject. And the deputy was able to get rounds off on target, but he did not put the guy down.
Now, it's a crazy story. I want to ask you. I want to come back to the black community. Do you feel like the NRA or NSSF are doing their job to represent the community properly?
No, because if you actually, that's a funny question. It's kind of interesting to answer that question. it was predominantly white. That's what they portrayed the whole time. And like right now, as they call the woke community in 2021, 2020, all that good stuff, of putting that face online. Like it's kind of hard. And then it's kind of hard to vet what individual that you're dealing with. Like, are they really going to represent it? Like when it comes to races, religions, and all that good stuff.
Like, does Carleon Noir represent the black community in the firearms industry?
I feel like yes, because that's the skin that he wears, and you know everybody has their different audiences that they resonate with. I went to Rice University. I'm used to being in a room full of people who don't look like me, and I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm comfortable with it. The yoga industry is mainly, you know, people not of color, and that's fine with me. What I see as being a connection and having different relationships with different types of people is totally fine. We never said that if you're black, you have to do certain things. There's not a requirement of what type of person that you have to be. So just by being who he is, Carleon Noir, I feel like he is representing.
And that's an excellent motherfucking answer. And this is why that's an excellent answer. Because what is it to represent the black community? Is it to stand in the street and go, Black Lives Matter? Is it to do this? Or how are you differentiating that he's not? Does he focus on more stuff with the black community when he did his shows and all that? Did he have black individuals on there? No. Me and Stress, we talk about that. Like, did he represent?
Yes, but that's not for you to determine who he wants to talk to, who he wants to resonate with. He gets to make his own fucking choices.
And that's what I'm getting to, because he is a human.
But the choice was made.
Maybe inadvertently, maybe not. I mean,
you ever hear the term?
Carlton's best friend.
No, I just want to ask you a question. You ever hear the term? You dance with the girl you took to the prom.
Explain.
So there's going to be people, right, that are going to be there for you, white or black, support you, build you up. Those are the people you remember on the back end. And what I'm saying is now that all these people are coming up and they're putting their flag in the sand. I got this. I got that. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. He remembers that his number wasn't called.
So with Carleon Noir, since we're talking about him, I personally know Carleon Noir. First time we started wrapping up, he's like, yeah, I know who you are. You're the crazy ass motherfucker. Has he ever came to a class? Do we go to more white classes, anything or whatever the case may be?
And he was scared to hang out with us.
Yeah, but that's at the nighttime he was scared to hang out. He knows we fucking wild. But the thing was, he took me under his wing at SHOT Show, first year ever going, and we rode with him for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. Showing me the ropes of what we need to do, how to work these business, how to work these boots, how to do all of this. So how many black instructors that he feel that's on the top elite level? And he did go to that one with the sniper class or whatever. So people can just talk shit to try to make it out to seem really bad. But at the end of the day, like, he wasn't brought up like that. You can't take every single black dude and be like, well, this is how he is. Does he talk like some hood ass motherfucker? No, he's a lawyer. So let's just get the levels of things. The reason I operate like I operate, I grew up in the hood. I didn't grow up in the suburbs. I grew up, it was not the projects. Many nicknames. I grew up in the motherfucking hood where like cats outside selling dope, gunfire was normal. Like, so I know I'm trying to get this information out to young black boys to understand. Like when I make these videos with girls twerking, shaking their ass, we at the strip club acting a motherfucking fool, turning up to show them that you don't have to be a drug dealer, you don't have to do this to do this. Like, you can be a normal human being and make shit happen. Drive $80,000 trucks and shit. You can do this. Carleon Noir might not have been brought up like that, so I'm not gonna come on here and talk down on another black man and be like, oh, he's a fucking sellout. No, fuck you.
That's the thing in the black community is that, you know, why do we need to be put into a box?
Right.
I mean, you know, everybody is different.
You're not a monolith.
Right. We have the Hodge twins. Now, they say some fucked up shit. And
they're funny.
You know, that doesn't make them any less who they are.
Right.
They are unique. I mean, it's just like me. My hair fucking defies gravity. You know, I don't wear my hair like a lot of people.
I got that same problem. I feel you.
I know. And I mean, So that's my perspective on it. And that's also something in the yoga industry. They say, oh, how can you be a yoga instructor? How can you be a yoga guru and you shoot guns? Like that is completely opposite to what yoga represents. And, you know, that everyone has their opinion. You know, there are a lot of tests that have been done that when you are shooting a gun, when you're doing something that, you know, drives up your adrenaline, you release, you know, endorphins, whatever things and activities that you participate in, that affects you, you know, emotionally, energetically.
Of course.
And why not use that as a type of yoga? Everybody has their thing. Some people like hot yoga. Some people like naked yoga. Some people like yoga with weed and, you know, all kinds of crazy things.
I bring it up because I think that there's so many great spokespeople coming forward now. And part of the reason why I brought the NRA and NSSF up is I think they could do a better job getting more faces out in the forefront. And I think that's important because people want to identify with what they love.
Black Guns of America. So there's multiple things. There's NAGA, National, I forgot the abbreviation.
Yeah, rattle a few off.
So you got NAGA out there. You have Black Guns Association. You have multiple different black gun communities that's coming out and creating their own wavelength. And
you got, what is it? They're not fucking around.
Those and we're not gonna even go to those because that Grandmaster J, Grandmaster J is a clown. He's also a psychopath.
You know,
Grandmaster J is a psychopath. I
honey,
know
but
people
can say that about you.
Babe, no, I am not mentally disturbed.
How can you judge someone and you are human as well?
Honey, I know a woman that he came
I don't say that I agree with his shit. I'm just saying that, you know, that may be one side of him. However, his mission, the actions that he's taken.
Oh, his mission is great.
He's pushed a lot of things forward.
Absolutely.
That have made some big ripples
Actually,
in the world.
Grandmaster J, I don't agree on half of the shit he says and goes through because he's insane, but
Hey.
I'm sorry. I know personal stories about the guy that ain't the man ain't good. I can't say.
Who can't say that about you?
Honey, I don't go to witch doctors. That's all I'm gonna say.
How can you judge somebody in the choices that they make?
Because I'm going to judge that because he got more people about to get murdered. But Grandmaster J is done with. We don't even know what's happening. He's a good, but what he pushed for is excellent.
I say don't write him off too soon.
What you mean too soon? He's already done.
Okay.
He already gave up damn near everybody in NFAC.
Okay.
Like he's not a great leader. But it's okay not to be a great leader.
But the way he thinks, he's already explained. He has short-term actions. He has long-term actions. I feel like he's going to make a comeback in some type of form or fashion.
Somebody need to go in his place so we don't get black people killed.
I mean, he might make a comeback behind the scenes of somebody else.
What he set
All
up,
I'm saying is
what
that
he
he's
set
coming
up,
back around
what he
some
set up
way.
in the show of power was good. Because now, if you realize that there's more black gun groups, you realize you don't have to be afraid. I like to say the waltz on your nuts analogy. If a waltz lands on your nuts right now,
Right.
if the waltz land on this fucking table, you'll take something, you'll slap the shit out of it and kill the motherfucker. But
And be done with it.
if a waltz lands on your nuts, you want to get a solution. Hey, Mr. Waltz, I understand you're flying
Like,
today.
woo.
Please don't bite me on my nuts. I'm not gonna swat you.
I'm not a flower.
It's cool. Let's just talk this out because you hit yourself in the nuts, it's gonna fucking hurt. If the waltz bites you in the nuts, it's gonna hurt. So that's the thing about guns and power. Power, guns, power, and money. This is why it scares the shit out of white people, to be honest with you, because the thing is, like, when you had all of that, especially in like California and all of that, when we had the Black Panthers, they made all these crazy ass laws that says 10 people with guns running around here because they got the power. Even in law enforcement, if I go to a riot situation with people with rocks and signs to my old Black Lives Matter and shit like that, and we got our sticks,
That's
we're just
the waltz on the table.
That's just signs. That's the waltz on the table. Now, if I roll up to a situation, and it don't matter what color you are,
and that's been historically across time.
And individuals,
like France got invaded like several times. If you do not have the ability, what they call the biggest stick, like you're gonna be the one taken advantage of. That's just
facts.
historically.
If slavery, if those guys, so we talk about this. I deal with some heavy, hard charging motherfuckers in this community. Like, I don't even know how this came about, but some top tier guys, they watch my shit and they realize a lot of things because they be all fucked up and they take away these parts. But if back in slavery, if they would have been armed and they would have shot and killed the slave masters, motherfuckers would have stopped. But there comes a religion and all of that things too. Cause my saying and me, I would have been one of those individuals you got to fucking kill, bro. Like I don't care.
Get into this going back in history and changing history.
We can't, but now we're here. That's why it's so important, because people go even with the government and then Sleepy Ass Joe. Can we talk about Sleepy Joe?
Go ahead.
Can we talk about Joe fucking Biden? Yeah, I'm gonna say it. This shit might get flagged because we talking about Sleepy Ass Joe. Joe Biden.
You're supposed to just say Stairmaster.
Stairmaster Joe. Stairmaster Joe. Oh my God, he's gonna set our people free. Like, I am fucking pro Trump. I'm sorry, because this man is just with it. I don't walk around with a MAGA hat because I don't want to have to use some force on somebody.
Some language.
Yeah, some language, or have to lay down SWAT Jesus
some
on
verbal judo.
Some verbal
and
judo.
See, that's another thing, and a reason why I say that we can't look at Coley on the Wire and say something negative about the choices he's made, because that's like telling somebody what to believe. That's like telling like who to talk to, where to go. Like, why do people keep trying to control what other people do? Just let them be free.
Back to Stairmaster motherfucking Joe. And this is what pisses me off. Because people thought he was going to be the light and savior, the white Jesus, and set everybody free. And then they go, just like in Kamala Harris. Oh, they talk.
You gave him a holiday, though, honey.
A holiday. You gave a motherfucker a holiday, but with the Asians was getting their ass whooped just for a couple of weeks, and you made Asian hate. You made Asian hate, but you can't do nothing for the black community. Talking about these things, this guy's not gonna.
He gave himself a day off in honor of black slavery experience.
So you got that other cocksucker. What's her name? What's her name? The Clintons and all those assholes. Mm-hmm. So they put on all this African smash, and they took a knee. Man, this is a mockery. They play against the black community. So when you had Ice Cube was gonna go on with.
Okay, first of all, why them putting on clothes is
because I think they're making a mockery out of us.
But you put on a suit.
They're making a mockery out of us.
You can't wear a three-piece suit.
I
You can't wear a tuxedo.
I can, but they're playing
cultural appropriation.
They're playing against what we stand for. I truly believe that. Like,
no, when I go travel to a country, when we go to Thailand, when we go to places, I want to try out and wear the garb.
Well, that's one thing, right? But is it pandering, right?
Facts.
You know what I mean? Is it like, put it this way, Hillary Clinton? Give an example. I'm going to stick up for my man for a second. I'm going to give you an example. When Hillary Clinton gets on a show, right? And I grew up in Boston. I grew up in the city. It was a racist city, but I dealt with all kinds. And you guys know this. Some of my best friends, my best friends are either black, Cuban, all kinds. When I see Hillary Clinton on a fucking talk show, say I carry hot sauce around to pander to the black community, I'm sorry.
It's bullshit.
All respect.
Bullshit.
Miss Tactical Karl, all respect, but that's too much.
Miss Tactical Karl, I'm not going to say it, but like she said, if you don't know what Mrs. Tactical Karl.
That's pandering.
She never grew up in the hood. She grew up in the suburbs. She went to Rice University.
So does that make me less black?
No.
I'm light skinned.
I'm breaking it down.
It does cost you, so it might cost you street cred. That's about it.
I'm breaking it down.
All I'm saying
$400,000 education. So you was around these individuals a lot. That's all. I'm leaving it there because I'm trying to get some ass tonight. So I'm gonna stop there.
But there is pandering. It exists. We can agree with that. People. I understand what he's saying when they get dressed up in the costume and they're doing it and it's local. Like you brought up, perfect point. You said when I go somewhere, when we all go to Hawaii, we get the lei when we get off the plane, right? We all do that. You can't tell me for 1 second they're going to celebrate that holiday one day after they write the law. Stop it.
They going after the people, and this is what they said. Fuck Joe Biden, bitch ass. Go, if you ain't black, you ain't voting for me, you ain't black. Man, get the fuck out of here, dude. I'm black as they come. Fuck you mean? I guess I'm not black. What are you doing for me? And that's what people need to get the fuck away from. They want to go to what's happening. What are you going to do for me? Like, I voted for Trump because the job I do, he's pro that. The things I do, he's pro that. The money I make, I'm in a different fucking tax bracket. I'm gonna look out for me. It is your job to look out for you. I own my business. My business does pretty well. Hell, if I stop making investments and buying crazy shit, I'll be okay. And at least you stop eating all this high-end food.
High-end food.
Hey,
Shit, fuck.
I have a body that can only accept certain
Steak and lobster. Steak and lobster.
Things. I mean, you knew that when we were dating. Our first date, he looks at the receipt and he's like, damn, glad I'm already getting some.
But it goes to that. Like, you have to look at your president of what they're going to help you out with. Right now, America's looking bad. We're getting cyber attacked by Russia and shit because they know we got a pussy for president. Like, it's like anything. It's like a bully. If I know I can walk up to you and slap the fucking shit out of you, then I'm going to do it and take your lunch money. But if I know if I walk up to you and slap the shit out of you, you've been doing jiu-jitsu and all this other crazy shit for 16 years, you might fuck me up. I might think twice. Trump was like, I'll press the button, bitch. Play with me. This is America. America was built off of violence. We can't come over here with this soft, hands-off shit because we're going to get fucked. And right now, we're getting fucked.
Now,
look at the border. I'm in Texas. They keep coming across. Like, these
they just hop on the train.
They hop. Man, we had a damn taxi rider tell me how he hopped on the train. I was on operations for the border with the National Guard. Like, man, this shit is getting fucking buck ass wild. Violent criminals are coming over, and we have to stop this. That's why I'm glad I live in Texas to where they're stopping it. I private security for this. This shit is so real. These are terrorists that's coming through, and we just want to go, oh, there's just women and children. So when Kamala Harris, I keep fucking up her name, and Joe Biden was coming through, they kept talking about all this, that we just need to let them go. And then she stands on the podium, go, don't come. Don't come.
She hasn't even been to the border yet.
Oh, she has. They said we've been there before because she's too busy with her fucking weave in her head. And man,
honey.
Dun dun dun.
I'm just saying.
You said it. Listen, I agree with you. I don't disagree with you. The border thing, I think, is going to come back and bite them in the ass. I think Pennsylvania is going to come back and bite them in the ass. I think shutting down the pipeline, I think inflation is definitely going to bite them in the ass. Inflation is something that kills all of us. Gas, lumber, everything. Fuck. It's all way too expensive right now. The $100 you made fucking 4 years ago ain't worth nothing.
Bullets? What's happening? Like,
that's your boy.
Like
I mean, like
the coronavirus.
Don't get into the ammo thing with me. Because I've done my homework. I'll tell you.
Tell me about this ammo, because I'm curious. Because fucking bullets are fucking a sky goddamn.
The reason ammo went up and the reason the ammo industry's all fucked up is because of the Remington bid. Okay, when Vista bid on Remington firearms, okay, there are some companies that drove the price up. Vista didn't like that. So Vista, that controls Federal and Winchester, withheld a lot of the components that lesser, smaller manufacturers use to produce ammunition. So they, in effect, drove the price up artificially while raising prices at the manufacturer level. And then your boy, Carleon Noir, went on TV and was like, I didn't realize hunters. And that's a perfect example of someone who has no idea what they're talking about.
Hey, the man was a lawyer first. Like, people who try to give colleagues, listen.
But we use the term stay in your lane, right?
Yeah,
You're not an industry insider. You know what I mean? You're a guy just taking a check to promote something. You're not an insider.
So let's break it down to these lanes. What happened? It was a fucking frenzy. The Carleon Noir had the money. He got into YouTube when it first started. Mm-hmm. He shot.
No, and I'm not picking on any of that. But when you walk the floor, Carl, of this is where the line gets drawn.
Break it down.
I don't walk on your range and say, let me show you how to do that drill while you're teaching. Maybe after I might show you, hey, I got a technique for that. Let me show you my technique. You don't go walk a floor of an ammunition company asking questions and act like you asking the hard questions when you don't even know the right questions to ask.
So I have fucked up many a times. Many a times I'm like, babe, I fucked up bad. And I get over it. And this is why. Like, when it comes to like police shootings and shit like that, like, I've been in this game a while, and I've been in my share of shit. So I damn near can justify every single one. Damn near. So a lot of stuff, it doesn't resurrect. It doesn't work for me. So when I see this stuff, so when I speak about it, could sometimes fuck up things, and it's definitely in the black
You're speaking
community.
your truth.
I'm speaking my truth, what I personally know. Yeah, he just hit this motherfucker 32 times in the head with a flashlight. But could we see his hands? What's happening? Because I know these things. I deal with this shit on a daily basis. So I know what's happening here. So, but the rest of the world don't. And I will defend it to the end. So a lot of things start to happening. And then another thing is, Hodge twins, some badass motherfuckers. I like it. I watch it all the time. Some things I don't agree on, but I'm not going to agree on everything you agree on. I'm not going to agree everything she agree on. But at the same time, when people are throwing you money, you got to talk about what they talk about. I've been in this industry just a little bit. When motherfuckers throwing me money, like lots of money, and they signing a check, sometimes your opinion is going to sway. So when you get a name and you get real motherfucking big,
It's harder.
It starts to sway.
Like that one gun that it was a situation in class, and you like said their name in a video.
Open your mouth. That's black stuff. All right. Yeah, that one gun. Fuck it. We'll go there. I don't care. Whatever.
Oh goodness.
A1 firearm.
No.
F1 firearms.
F1.
They had a oopsie. That gun wasn't functioning properly with Black Rambo or whatever.
That was the first time.
First time we
met
trained, we was pushing him through a drill. He went through the drill 15 minutes long. I had
That
a
video got like
million views. I had a retired Air Force veteran out there.
Because the gun kept going down.
The gun went down, even though I was inducing malfunctions and shit. But I picked up the gun and I threw it across the fucking range. I was like, F1 firearms. I was on.
He yelled it. They made a meme.
They made a meme out of the video. Long story short, F1 firearms had 50,000 complaints against their gun. It wasn't the gun issue. It was me being an asshole inducing malfunctions. But the way the public took it was,
it was something wrong with
it was the gun. So they had 50,000 complaints. The video hit 1 million fucking views, and it was insane. And they lost a lot of money because of me. Did I intentionally do that? No.
Right.
Was the gun a bad gun? No. Did I get a fucking call from the owner of F1 and we
Dion.
Did that happen? Absolutely. But the thing is, like, it's like how something that small can transfer into something really freaking huge.
Oh, yeah. Big time. That's why you have to be, I agree with you. I think certain things will sway your opinion on things.
Money.
I think that's a huge component, but I also think you can be critical. You can ask the right questions. It doesn't always have to be a walk in the park, and you can prep people for that. You can say, hey, listen, I'm going to ask you about this, this, and this. You have to be prepared for an answer. Because I can walk in a boardroom tomorrow in Vista, and listen, to the CEO of Federal Premium, Winchester, Remington, I'll come ask the questions. I want to know how many primers, how many bullet primers were OEM'd in the first quarter of 2019, 2020, and 2021.
If Vista drops you $100,000 right now and they ask you to ask these questions, what would you
100's
do?
not enough.
And you're a big boss,
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
Fuck.
like, he gonna fuck around.
100's not enough. It's not enough.
They offered you $500,000 right
For
now.
$500,000, I'll paint a decent picture, but I'm still going to ask the question. I'll still ask the question. I'm not going to bullshit you. I'll tell you straight. I'm still going to ask the question, but I'll maybe prep them a little bit more.
But what about
That's my
a
gift.
company that sends you the material, they really want to work with you, and it doesn't turn out to be something that is of quality or that you really like? What do you
That's
do?
an easy no, and I'm going to tell you why. And I think Karl would feel the same way. If it's a total piece of shit, if it's a total pig, it would have to be an obnoxious number, but there would come a point where you'd be like, hey, listen, if I'm going to get behind this and you're willing to pay me some stupid money, let's fix the product.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Karl knows what I'm talking about with that. That's because you
what
do
I
the
mean.
same thing if it was a yoga spot. You'd be like, hey, let me talk to you about this matter, this whatever. Let's get this right. Because if you're going to pay me X, couple grand a month, whatever it is, 40, 30, 40, 50 grand a year, let's put a little bit of that back in and let's fix it. Let's get it right. So that's an easy no.
So, and that's me. the thing why people love me so much and these gun companies and all this other shit is because I have nobody throwing money at me like a crazy person yet. But so I give it to you raw and fucking rugged. I'm like this. If you meet me on the scene, if you meet me anywhere in the world, the same fucking energy is not a switch. This is me. And
the only time he's not like that is when he's sleeping.
And even sometimes,
I see that.
Even sometimes in sleep, I fight motherfuckers.
That's true. He will kick the air and.
So if the VA is listening and y'all got my claim on y'all desks, this shit is real.
So listen, where does it go from here for you?
For me, I'm going to continue to.
He does have the ringtone album
Got
that
the ring.
just came out.
Well, talk about that.
So we
so
actually
fun to
created
make.
multiple ringtones. This is my wife's ideal. My wife is like, she has these fucking crazy ideals that
Grand
just be
plans.
like grand plan that be like out of this world. I'm like, babe, nobody will do it. And then next thing I know, it's getting hits and shit. Like, people like to hear the stuff that I talk about.
And people wake up hearing you say boom. So making an alarm that wakes you up, like literally when I have that set as my alarm, I know I'm getting
You got the buns and guns chant on there?
Oh, no, not yet.
You got to put that on there.
Not yet. So
If you have that on, hey, listen, you put that on there, I'm a customer.
So after that, we'll show you some wall ass videos that the world don't see of the guns and buns.
The guns and buns.
Guns and buns. I'm still employed with the.
That was on the spot. That happened.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
If you could put the guns and buns on there, it's like an added track.
If you would have told us we brought some of the guns and buns girls, and you probably
Next
have a wild
time,
night.
Guns and buns.
we'll bring the
It's
entourage.
ass twerking and just like Lord Jesus. And see, like that used to be me when I first started this. Like, it'd be like all the wild stuff that we do, because we're not a normal married couple. When
We're the best kind of married couple.
Yeah.
We've been married 3 years.
Yeah,
Going
like,
on forever.
I can look at a girl with a nice ass. Felicia's like, "Want me to get her?" I'd be like,
I don't know. No, that is not how it
positive
works.
reinforcement. I gotta give you a wager of what I got.
No,
trees.
that's not how it works.
Tell me.
I know what I want. And so I either am tuned in or it's a no. Simple as that.
Simple as that. I don't live that boring ass marriage life like most people live, missionary only type shit.
Missionary only type shit.
And then there's a lot of guys in gun, the little dick syndrome. Like, this is the only thing that they have.
Honey,
like,
you
they're-
cannot.
Man, I don't give a
choose their
fuck.
dick size.
I don't give a fuck. They got little dick syndrome. Like, I know you're not born. I'm not born tall, but Lord God, SWAT Jesus blessed me with the large penis. Thank you. I'm
SWAT
not
Jesus, huh?
with the regular Jesus, whoever
Regular
created me.
Jesus, huh?
God. Anyways, long story short, like, they go to their job is the only thing that they are.
That's how they
Green Beret and blah 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 blah. That's the first thing they tell you. First thing I tell you, hey, I'm Tactical Karl, blah blah blah, and I tell you about myself. I don't tell you my title.
Right.
I got multiple fucking titles. When you talked
I
about
like
this,
to brag on it.
when you talked about this earlier, I'm like, there's so much shit I have done, and I don't brag on that. I don't brag on gunfights that I've been involved in half the time because I'm still waiting to get fucking sued. Cleared.
Right.
That's a whole nother stress
That's a
of
whole
my
nother
life
stress.
that people don't understand. The way I set up my life is different. I've had the fucking cartel put hits on me. Like, people like, why do you sleep with an AR-15 and a fucking pistol right next to you and more shit, and y'all got flashbangs and your security so high?
And smoke.
The way my life is set up is completely different than yours.
Right.
Like, my shit stays on me 24/7.
We have Tactical Tuesdays.
you're
around the
Training.
house.
Like, my pit bull's ready to go to rip your nuts off.
Your
Like,
situational awareness is always at like a red level.
yeah, like sitting here and
He
see.
told me when we were dating, he said, you need to look out for the way people respond to me.
Right.
Because that tells you how they are related to me in some way. Or
Right.
what their relationship is. If I've taken them to jail, if I've, seen them on the street, if they know me from, childhood. And, it's real. It's kind of funny. People's eyes tell how they know Karl.
Man, not to. I've been through my share of shit on this world, and like she talk about, like that takes a different level. Like in mass chaos, I am good. Like when I'm standing still, I'm not good. Like when violence and
We're not
shit,
speaking that on life.
not life, but when shit's hitting the fan, like I do very well in a chaotic situation. And even if chaotic situation is putting on 5 classes, I got this, we got to hit this, we got to hit this, like that's good. If a chaotic situation is, hell, we're going to be fucking for 3 hours, 4 hours, we're getting at it with, hell, putting a dog leash on some chick and like getting after of it, like it's fucking buck ass wild. Like I do well under pressure.
Or my new stripper pole that's coming soon.
Fucking $800 later.
Stripper pole. Do you mount that?
No. So I broke all the fucking mountain stripping poles. Like I almost died one night. I was drunk and I took off fast as I could. I grabbed the pole and I spunked on that motherfucker. And next thing I know, my head was about to hit the counter. Thank God for
that's why
newly sergeant. I'm not gonna say her name, but appreciate you, girl. You saved my life. She grabbed the pole and stopped me from hitting the table. Like, and then the second pole, I broke that motherfucker too.
Yes. So now he has to give me the real expensive
fucking $800 pole.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, don't give me one.
Because they have weight restrictions too, don't they?
No, you don't supposed to run and jump.
So there's different types, and if it's mounted into like the ground,
like a beam
stand,
yeah, just go straight up. It's badass. So I'm gonna get it because we used to have like crazy ass stripper parties and shit. Like
invite only.
Yeah, but you could get the janky one, or you get the high end one. The high end one.
I spent $300 on the shit. I'm like, it's shit. No, all the stripper girls say it works, but it doesn't work for me. And once I get a little bit more alcohol, I might hop on that motherfucker.
Yeah. Little workout,
absolutely.
You get a burn.
Start doing like spinning kicks and shit.
Talking about you missionary only wives, y'all need to figure that out because that's why y'all husbands are paying strippers to have fun. Like y'all women need to get off the bullshit, get nasty, suck it.
When we hang out with couples, their marriage gets better.
Absolutely, my buddy who's about to get a divorce. I ain't gonna say his name. Newly owned sergeant too now. Him and his wife about to get a divorce. They hung out with us, and I was actually coaching him during the sex. I was getting it on my couch. I was like, hit that shit! Hit it! Boom! And he was like, and she was like, oh my God, honey, that was the best I ever fucking had. Let me tell you, 6 months later, he was in his fucking garage doing curl ups. She was like,
his whole life.
She said this has changed her life, and they actually ended up. She sucked his dick on the way home.
Honey,
they don't know who it is, and it's good. We good.
Okay.
It's G14 classified.
Yeah. We ain't gonna drop no names now.
It's G14
That's
classified.
what my mom used to call Carlton because when he told me who he was, I didn't really register. I'm thinking that he was like some special operation federal agent, and so
my cowboy hat with the sheriff's office fucking holes enough. Those Fed guys ain't shit. I had one take a piss during riding with me. He took a piss on himself. That one situation.
Okay, well, regardless, all I'm saying is that was his name
Fed guys
for
ain't
a
shit.
long time before he became husband. When we were dating, he was G14 in my phone.
G14 classified.
I was yoga girl.
G14 classified.
Yeah.
Listen, that's the right name.
But no, like I'm just saying, just side note, all y'all born ass women, get off the bullshit and get nasty.
You know what Suresh's nickname was on the range?
What's that?
When we used to train together?
What's that?
Passenger 57.
Oh shit.
Wesley Snipes.
I love it.
Passenger 57.
You know, Suresh 221B, man, shout out to y'all guys. That's my boy. Even though I have to fucking schedule a meeting to talk to him on the phone for 30 minutes a month in advance.
I hope he's listening. I know he will be. I know he will be.
I have to schedule a meeting with this guy.
Got a lot going on.
A month in advance just to talk to him. Shresh is my boy. He put me on a lot of game. Tony, Real World Tactical.
No, wait. Shresh, when he met me at SHOT Show, people always get surprised because, you know, they're like, oh, that's the wife. Oh, cute, you brought your wife. And then I come out saying, like, something crazy, probably, like, wild, sexual, crazy shit. And they're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you said something wild to him. I think I remember him saying something like that. But, yeah, no, I do, 100%. And listen, shout out to 221B Tactical and Suresh Madhaven. If you haven't checked out any of his stuff yet, please go check it out. But he's hilarious because he is really busy and he does have a lot going on. And I know exactly what Carl's saying. You got to kind of, you just got to call and eventually you'll get through. He's one of those people. But I love brands, you know, like his and what he's done with that brand has been nothing short of phenomenal. He's such a great guy.
No, absolutely. And fellow law enforcement, thin blue line brother, and
retired.
Retired. Oh yeah, he told me to stop fucking around with this shit and get done with it and move over to that world. But I still love helping people. Like the jittery still goes on when 3 o'clock in the morning that alarm goes off saying shots fired. They need help. I'm on the way. Like I will lay down my life for my brothers and my sisters. I will lay down my life for some fucker I don't even know.
Guys like you though are entrepreneurial. You'll get out.
Yeah, eventually. I seen Tony get out. Seen Stretch get out. Seen multiple guys get out.
Yeah,
So,
because it may.
Ken.
Yeah,
It's a way
Ken
to
got
help
out
put
too.
out more people like you is when you're training people who want to help people. So you're not, necessarily needing to work 100 hours a week. If you teach 10 people how to do the things that you do in that way, then you just multiplied your effect.
But we need to get Trash out to Houston, Texas, so we
Come
can
on.
so we can show you some of this crazy ass shit that goes on in
Come
Texas.
on.
He needs
Bring the drone.
he needs the training too.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Fuck that. I'm done.
Yeah, we need.
You
No,
I'm
don't
retired.
ever play?
no.
I'm retired.
Fuck the training. I'm talking about come on out with a night with us.
I'll come out.
Yeah, we got to sign.
I would.
Got to sign non-disclosures
yes, you
first.
do have to
But
sign a
after the
non-disclosure.
NDAs,
I got my own.
Okay, well,
So we're not
I'll have you sign mine.
we'll exchange.
I'll have you sign mine.
Yeah.
hey, we'll do it because our shit's a one way. It's kind of one way.
Anyways.
I got my own NDA. I got a 2-way NDA, and usually if I have a guest in that maybe I never talked to, I might have them sign it in case I give them any proprietary information, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely, but make sure.
Sign
Hey,
it for all reasons.
so make sure you put an end date on that shit. If you don't
Hey,
have
I'm
it,
sure that he has
you know,
lawyers.
end date means the shit's not valid. I had to find that out the hard way.
Yeah, mine are
100 years.
The law. Thank you.
100
You're
years.
so
100 years.
I'm just
and
looking out for
people
you, bro.
ask, though, and he really does. I make him say boom during sex sometimes. Sometimes he says it on his own.
Try it. It actually helps the blood and the penis go. When you
Well,
go boom.
exactly. You can't just be like boom, boom.
You gotta say it with your. You gotta say it with your chest.
You got to say it with your chest. You got to dig deep.
Yep.
Yes.
Now, do you script these videos when you do them?
Fuck
No.
Completely unscripted?
Completely
Completely.
raw and uncut, straight fucking raw, no rubber.
Sometimes we have to re-record if he
Yeah.
accidentally does something or whatever. But it's just
On the fly.
Yeah, and like my police videos when they like get into gunfights and shit like that, like I'll like let the shit go on.
Now, does it bother you when a non-Leo, like I know, I'm not going to name names, people we're mutual friends with, they don't like when non-Leos start to comment on videos and everything else. How do you feel about that?
So I am in the community so fucking heavy, you don't even
Right.
understand. I'm in the community so fucking heavy. I set up meetings with Black Lives Matter New York chapter to see what the fuck is on their mind, to see the other side of the spectrum. And some things we actually agreed on, and most things we fucking definitely disagreed on. And like shit like that is so crazy because we're so afraid to get out of the box and try to see how can we actually help and do shit. And like
I think people get really caught up on the actual event itself and not the implications, the preventability for any reoccurring events. And I also feel like, we can't tell other people how to feel. Some people are going to have their opinion about a shooting with the cop, and Karl and I will often have different opinions.
my
about-
mama shit.
Yeah, I mean, and that doesn't mean that we need to hate each other. We can have differing opinions.
Why did the guy get shot 16 times? Because 15 didn't work.
Right. That's the hard part though, right there, is being able to disagree and move on and understand, like, I can have my opinion and you can have yours. That's a problem today. It's a real problem. That's a problem where
Because everybody wants to be right. I'm right and you're wrong.
it depends on how deep your desire to be right is though.
So people go, cops are bad. School teachers are bad. Priests are bad. Like they fuck little boys sometimes. Like it's
There's bad people in every industry.
So at the end of the day, like, don't just go after those individuals. And I'll tell you right now, some of this shit that's going on needs to happen. Because if you actually look at it, and I thought about this the other day, right now, Houston and crime is so fucking high. So you create task force to go after the bad guys. Those task force have to be, it's like special forces operations. Those task force has to be elite and trained in violence to level like no other.
and sometimes by Tactical Karl.
So, and a lot of times, but I mean, because after they do a fucking bullshit ass training with them, they holler at me, and we don't talk about those training teams that come out. But long story short is, you are trained to violence. Sometimes it's hard to hit that switch. When you're a door fucking kicker, you're a fucking pipe hitter, hitting that switch, violence is what's happening. When I go in this room, some motherfucker's gonna try to kill me. So your mindset is different. There's a different mindset. Like when you portray violence, like the smell of blood is very rich. When blood comes out of human being's body, it's very warm. When you're covered in another human being's blood, man, that's some different next level shit.
Oh yeah,
I can't even explain to you, bro.
I want to ask you kind of one last question. When you see these new guys come on the scene, like we were talking about the gun removal guys, right? These guys are on the other side of the extreme, and I want to educate people on this right now. So you have obviously people that we may disagree with what they put out there, this, that, and the other thing. And then you have these people come along that are teaching flat out dangerous tactics. When you see that stuff, how does it make you feel?
So when I first got my NRA and firearms, rifle, all that bullshit instructor, I went to a class. These guys who was teaching the class, it was so dangerous that I just knew somebody's going to die. I stopped taking the class and I started helping them out. And that type of guy that we're talking about, Mr.
Yeah,
that shit.
Detroit firearms, whatever.
So when he actually came out with his security company, I thought it was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
He starts making these fucking bullshit ass videos that somebody's gonna die. So taking away a firearm, and I want to actually do a video. I was taught through law enforcement, Krav Maga, military, how to actually disarm somebody from a firearm. The chances of you getting shot is around 75. Between 50 and 75%. You have to do something. Somebody has a gun pointing in your fucking face. If you just sit there and get shot, then what? Fuck that. Me, I'm gonna fight. So do something. Know some type of method. If there's no method that's 100% correct.
Crazy shit in his classes.
So I'll tell, if you had a gun pointed at me, point your finger gun at me. Got your finger gun at me. I'm like, please kill me. Don't kill me, sir. I got 9 baby mamas, 5 kids, and 6 fucking children. I'll suck your dick. I'll say some shit like that. Your brain, what happens is that it's called the OODA loop effect. You start thinking about, he got 9 baby mamas, 5 kids. So you start to think. And I'm looking at your body, seeing where that finger's positioned, blah, blah, blah. If you just want my wallet, take it. If you just want this, take it. If I see the look in your eyes that you're going to take my fucking life, at that moment, I'm going to realize I need to do something. So I'm going to call RCAT. Redirect, attack, control, take away. I'm going to do all these steps. And I'm going to get that weapon system away from you. And then I'm going to take it away. And whatever's necessary after that point, we're going to do it.
There are techniques. We all know that. It's the putting it out there mainstream.
Nothing's 100%.
Yeah.
Even that guy's fucked up.
That needs to come with an insane disclaimer.
Yeah. Like nothing's in Krav Maga. They teach that. Krav Maga law enforcement, they teach that. Like I don't put videos out there because some shit I just can't do. There's a lot of shit that I do that I can't do. There's a lot of shit on this show that I do.
Right. I know exactly what you mean.
I can't fucking put out, bro. But like fucking getting off that thing, doing your thing, and working. I've fought with people in the middle of the street who had guns, fighting for my fucking life at that moment that I know that works.
Yeah, there are techniques. I think when guys like that come out and they're trying to teach it to the masses, that's when it gets dicey, you know, and it's very hard to show those techniques in the context to which you just explained them. And people don't understand. And that's why putting stuff like that out there becomes a little bit polarizing, becomes a little bit dangerous, and can be a risk. Now, it all depends. Can people put techniques out there on social media with a degree of explanation that it's applicable and it makes sense? Yes. Is it dangerous when you put it out there in snippets and in little 1-minute clips and people don't have the context or have that understanding? Yeah, that can be a little bit dicey. I get that. Now, Mrs. Tactical Karl, let me ask you this. What is it like dealing with this guy?
I love it. Honestly, when I lived in Europe for some time, and I've always liked an alpha male.
Right.
I have an alpha personality. However, when I'm with him, he has this alpha. He takes care of that role, so I get to be, connected in that way. And so I like the fact that he's looking around and he thinks about my safety and he teaches these techniques and that he feels called to share it with people. And that drive and intensity is something that attracts me to him.
When you took him home, did you introduce him as Tactical Karl?
He was not yet Tactical Karl when we were dating. So we were dating before he was Tactical Karl. Then he was G14 classified. And, he was still who he is, his personality, his energy, and my family loves him. They loved him from jump.
Oh my God.
We dated 4 months.
How could you not, right?
Together.
How could you not?
Yeah.
How could you not? Now listen, we got to wrap up. It's getting late.
Shit, we've been going at it,
It's
bro.
not getting late. We're in Vegas.
It's getting late. Let everybody know where they can find you, how they can reach you, how they can get in touch.
Tactical_Karl.
With the
K
K.
as in King. Also, you can type that into YouTube. Tactical Karl. Facebook.
Spotify, YouTube, all the
Spotify. Just
listen to the
Google
ringtones.
Google fucking Tactical Karl with the K and I'll pop up.
And on the next episode, we'll talk about how LeBron James speaks for the black community.
We'll talk about how fucking LeBron James speaks for law enforcement. Like, bro, chill out. Like, even with that situation, this sucks.
No, I don't want to leave it there. Leave it there.
This sucks. Like, a chick has a knife. She has a fucking
Honey,
knife.
leave it.
And she's about to kill someone.
Yeah, but he knows.
And you want the cop. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, but he knows.
This fucks it up for law enforcement because at the end of the day, we're all thinking, what do we do? None of us wants to lose our job. None of us wants to lose everything we worked for.
LeBron got $100 million at 18. He knows.
The guy don't know. The guy don't know what it. The guy don't know what it is to rescue a fucking hostage. The guy don't know shit.
He knows
what it is to steal the ball.
He,
To double.
I can't go on the court and tell LeBron James what the fuck to do because I don't know. I stay in my lane because I know.
That's the growl right there.
Mrs. Karl,
Mrs. Tactical Karl.
Oh shit.
what do you want to plug? Let everybody know where they can find you, how they can reach you.
At Mrs. Tactical Karl on Instagram.
Afro yoga, put that one too.
I do yoga on Afro Yoga, so you can,
It's awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's like a completely different, that's why I made the Mrs. Tactical Karl page, so I could just put all of that side on there.
And some real talk about yoga. So when I went through SWAT school, 2000
4 a.m. naked yoga.
217, yoga helps stretch out those muscles. It helps stretch out the body. Also,
and to mentally prepare him.
A lot of guys like that. I work with a lot of veterans. Like one of my good friends fucking blew his head off with a shotgun.
I don't care. Any true tactical guy, if he's tactical, if he's badass and he's not doing yoga, then he is missing a large percentage.
Do something to stretch your body.
You should.
Tony was like, "Oh, I do the stretch. I ain't gonna do no yoga now." Some guys.
That's my opinion, and that I feel very strongly about that.
You should
if you
both
are not practicing yoga, then what are you doing? You're not doing it.
You should both put in jiu-jitsu. It's like yoga with chokes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But in jiu-jitsu, guess what? Y'all also do yoga. I've taken a couple of classes, and you have to stretch
a lot of the qualities and the benefits and the practices do transfer over, just like in karate.
100%, yeah.
Though a lot of those techniques they do incorporate a lot
because they're
of the
forms.
yoga. So
yeah.
it's some form of yoga. That's my thing. You don't need to necessarily get on a yoga mat in a hot room and do yoga. That's not the end all be all.
Right.
How you get your practice and connection to self, that's what it's about.
100%.
But everybody who thinks that they're going to be something in this industry, be tactical in this industry, you have to be connecting to yourself first.
Now
break down what the fuck is tactical. Tactical means tactics. So how you do a certain thing.
Tactile.
So motherfuckers go, oh, tactical. Like tactical walking. That's just walking. Tactical shooting. That's just shooting. Break the shit down. Like, chill out, bro. It's okay.
Tactical reloads.
You saying that they shouldn't call it tactical?
No, I'm just saying is people get wrapped around the name of tactical. Like, that's all they put. You go tactical reading. It's something to make guys actually want to do the shit.
But it is different than just the regular schmegular reading.
I guess.
Well,
You don't know because you're just in it so deep.
you in too deep. You're in too deep.
Ain't no turning back
Listen.
on me,
You
bro.
can never be in too deep.
Hey, bro, before we end, you got to give me one boom.
All right.
Bring it from the
I'm
solar
gonna see if it's
plexus.
up. I'm gonna see if it's up
Bring it
to
from
your
the
snuff.
nuts.
Boom! It's Tactical Karl.
I like it.
Was that good enough?
Hey, that was good enough, bro. I
Yeah.
rock
I'm working
with
on it.
I rock with it.
Boom. I still want the guns and buns on the soundtrack.
Guns and buns.
Guns and buns. So listen, I loved having you guys. It's my pleasure. I love you guys for coming in. It means a lot. You guys are a lot of fun, and I enjoy the content. I genuinely do. And I think you represent something different, something exciting, something that genuinely comes through as fun.
And that's another thing is that you don't have to have a boring marriage. You can enjoy life and still be really good at what you believe in.
Listen, I was going to go there. You don't give me enough credit.
I'm piggybacking off your energy.
See, you know, we got our own TV show, Money, Guns, and Yoga. So
Like that.
we're usually the ones on Afro Vibes Radio. We're usually
TV?
the TV. My bad. We're usually the ones who give the interview. So it's like fucking crazy for us to be the ones getting the interview. We're usually in
you're
your
right.
seat.
This is our official interview together. Is that first or
Yeah,
second?
fucking crazy.
First official.
Fun.
Yeah.
Also, we were interview versions, and we are now not.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to what's next.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Oh yeah.
And we got
visionary.
and we got NRA show coming up. And we got SHOT Show right around the corner. It's going to be a fun year. I'm looking forward to it. Listen,
And I appreciate you having us out here, brother. That means a lot. Just the information and knowledge.
I hope you like it in here too.
Just the information and knowledge that you dropped on us today. Like, we take all this shit. It's not a sign of fuck. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm by
We
far and away.
appreciate you.
Yeah, and in my opinion, as I always say, you're always going to come back. You're going to come across two types of people in this business. You're going to come across people that assume they're the smartest person in the room, and people that assume everyone else is smarter than them till proven otherwise. The last person's the best person to talk to.
Or you'll be with the person who doesn't judge people and try to determine if they're smarter or not.
And I always say, expect nothing, blame no one, and do your job.
Hey.
I always say fucking run everybody through NCIC, TCIC.
There you go.
Only believe in God.
Oh, God.
Our SWAT
he ran
Jesus.
me
SWAT
through
Jesus.
and checked. Make
So
sure.
I want to thank a few of the sponsors. Head over to www.johnbartoloshow.com. Go check out a complete list there. I want to thank a few of them now. Gallo Technologies, Rhino Metals, Pulsar Thermal Imaging Technology, Enforce Weapon Lights, Blackwater Ammunition, and of course, I want to thank Kenzie's Optics, Volquartsen, and Right On. Go check out all the sponsors. There's a complete list of them down below. We'll put some of Tactical Karl and Mrs. Tactical Karl's links down below. Go check them out. Go support everything that they're doing. And go check out the soundtrack.
Yeah. Boom.
Playlist.
Boom. It's Tactical Karl. Wake up.
Appreciate
Wake
you
up.
guys. We're out.